What is good, everybody? It is one half of Dom Squared here, back with another episode of the Montana Grizzlies Dynasty. In today's episode, I got to talk to you guys about a quick restructure, a bit of how the Dynasty works, and then we'll be playing our game against Boise State as well as recruiting for the week. Before we get into that, if you've enjoyed this series or any of the other content we currently got on the channel, please like and subscribe down below. Also, if you've got any feedback on how we can improve our content for you guys, please feel free to leave it in a comment down below. We're always open to any feedback you guys may have for us. Getting into it here, if you watched the end of last episode, you may remember that we were supposed to be playing Utah State at home in our next game and not Boise State. And you would be correct. That is how the last episode left off, episode 5. This will all be in episode 6, dropping Wednesday. But basically, when I set up this dynasty, one of the things I overlooked, I thought about it but didn't really think about it too deeply until just recently, was when you're importing a team builder team over an existing team, you kind of adopt that team's pipelines and recruiting area and their team prestige. And the team I imported over was UMass in Massachusetts. So that gave us a large chunk of our prospects were in the northeastern region of the country. And for me, immersion/realism is a huge thing for dynasties or franchises. And to me, as a newly minted FBS school, that kind of ruined it to be recruiting all the way across the country against schools that we normally wouldn't be recruiting against. And really, it's just a problem with the game, since we can't just add a team builder team and make our own kind of program and pipelines from scratch. Since we have to import over a team in the current state of the game, I really had no choice but to overwrite a team. So I've gone ahead and I restarted the dynasty and got us back to where our record is if post episode 5 against Fresno State, where we lost to them and we're currently 2-2. I got us back with the force win and force loss feature in the scheduling. See over here in this far column, I just force won and force lost us a couple games to get us back to that 2-2. And then the only duplicate on our schedule that we've already played in previous episodes will be Wyoming. But at least now that we've overwritten a new team, it says that we have a rivalry with them on that right-hand panel, which is more realistic. I like seeing that rivalry banner when we play a school like Wyoming, who's just one state over from us. And the state we did end up overwriting was Utah State. They were the only similarly rated school when it came to team prestige that made sense geographically. They're a 2-star prestige school at the start of a dynasty, and the UMass Minutemen were a 1.5-star. So in recruiting, that only ends up being really a difference of 50 hours per week in this first season, which could be an extra player or whatnot, but still not too far off. I believe geographically the closest team would technically be Washington State, and I did test it out with them, but they would come in at a 3-star prestige, which I felt was a little too unfair, especially since we're supposed to be a FCS team playing our first season in the FBS after making the transition. So 2 stars, while I do feel is a little high, I would have loved to make them a 1-star. 2-star I feel isn't too unrealistic, but 3-star would have been a little too high for my liking. It would have been too easy to get some high-level recruits right out of the gate. So the only thing that's changed now is the schedule for the rest of the season. But we still have that 2-2 record like we did in the last episode. And then obviously recruiting is very different now, since we're not able to save or load custom recruiting classes in this iteration of the game. So I will take you through what our recruiting looks like now. We are in week 6, and I just got us a couple of recruits to start out. Similar caliber that we were looking at in the original save file, a lot of 3 stars and some 2 stars. Like that original save file, there was only 2 4-stars initially interested in coming to our school, and that was a middle linebacker that Oregon jumped out ahead of right away, and we never had a chance. And then this 4-star cornerback, Lionel Willie, who we are currently locked out of because of a deal breaker due to playing style, which I believe we had 2 bye weeks in the sim up to this point. So we just don't have enough interceptions, I believe is what the cornerbacks care about when it comes to that deal breaker. So he's a pretty good corner. I don't know if we'll get him. It doesn't look like Wyoming's locked out, so they may end up snagging him as he gets closer to his top 3. And then here is the middle linebacker I mentioned that was initially interested in our school, the 4-star middle linebacker. He ended up committing to Oregon pretty quickly after we added him to the board. We were 5th on his board currently when we stopped recruiting him. And for me, this was a huge part of the realism. I want to be recruiting against schools out here on the West Coast like Oregon, Utah, UCLA, Boise State, Wyoming, schools like that, where it would make sense as a lower level FBS team, where a lot of our recruits are going to be coming from that Western United States area instead of a small program reaching all the way over to the East Coast for 2 and 3 star prospects. In my mind, that doesn't make a lot of sense when it comes to real life recruiting. A lot of the smaller schools will stick close to their regional pipelines, and then they'll dip out of there for any national recruits or to fill any holes towards the end of the season that they may need. So then let's take a look at the rest of our board here. We've got a couple guys that are getting pretty close to committing as well. Our class is shaping up to be a bit better here. We do have a bit more of a pipeline bonus in Utah, which Utah State was technically the closest school geographically to us and not Boise State. I didn't want to overwrite Boise State anyways, but Boise State was like a 7.5 hour drive. Utah State ends up being around 6ish, so geographically it makes sense that we'd have a decent pipeline in Utah as Montana in Missoula. First up, we got middle linebacker Alani Iverson, secret son of Allen Iverson. Fun fact, he's a 3-star gem middle linebacker with 91 speed, 80 agility, 86 acceleration, and 71 zone. We're currently the only ones that have offered and recruited him, and he is already in his top 3, so we should begin that commitment next week. This guy's going to be huge as a user next year once Chase Freeman leaves, our stud middle linebacker that we currently have who's a senior. So super excited that I was able to find and snag this guy with really no problem from any other schools. Next up, another gem in left end, 3-star Levi Yaboa. He is a speed rusher tendency, 79 speed, 79 finesse moves, 82 acceleration, and 76 strength. A gem, so we know his depth chart will be pretty good. He's got decent stats for 3-star. And again, really no real opposition besides UNLV, and we just had a stronger pipeline in the area, so we were able to snag him easily. We'll get that commitment after this week. One of our quarterback recruits for the year is 3-star Seth McAllister from Las Vegas, Nevada. He is a scrambler tendency with 82 speed, 88 throw power, and decent short accuracy. Even though Seth is pretty talented, he doesn't really compare to the quarterback we actually were able to sign and the one I'm more excited for down below, but we'll get to that in a second. Following Seth is JUCO 3-star transfer recruit Ty Mount, right guard out of Perryman, Utah. Nobody else offered him. We're just putting 5 hours a week, and he's getting close to his top 5. Nothing special about him. 84 strength, 73 run block, 63 pass block, 83 lead block, 81 impact block. Decent finesse blocking stats, so he should be decent as a starter next year. He should be an improvement anyways over who we've got. Most of our line after the season may be in the low 60s if we're lucky, but nonetheless, a good player that'll likely start right out of the gate. To help bolster the other side of that line is another edge rusher in Clarence Schureman. He has a power rusher tendency with 77 speed, 89 strength, and 76 power moves. Pretty good for a 3-star to be that strong when strength does play an impact when we're talking about line play. Another 3-star prospect out of Utah is vertical threat tight end Juan Tinker. Comes in with 84 speed, 88 acceleration, and 76 catching. He'll be a huge addition to our vertical passing game once Scott McLaughter leaves, and he should come in at a decent overall. And I believe our next up in our room currently is a 50 overall, so he'll be an immediate starter for us. And if you guys have watched up to this far, you guys know I love hitting my tight ends on drags and crossers, so that speed out of a tight end position will be huge for us down the line. Following Juan, we got a couple running backs. The first one is another 3-star out of Las Vegas. Only putting 10 hours a week into him, and we're the only one that have offered him so far. It is Cole Mangold. Comes in with 88 speed, 90 acceleration, and 83 carrying. A decent back, should be part of the rushing attack right away. Depending on his starting overall, may even look to jump into the top 2 spots of our depth chart, even though Spencer Strickland and Keontae Tyson will be coming back. But the running back recruit I'm most excited for is 3-star Phil Hayden from Provo, Utah. He comes in with 91 speed, 91 acceleration, only 77 carrying, but we're hoping that he will be splitting carries with likely Keontae Tyson or Cole Mangold next year, so he shouldn't get too worn down to where that carrying takes too much. And talking about some of the guys briefly before we go on where their recruiting stands, we are the only ones recruiting the other edge rusher Clarence Schumann, the tight end Juan Tinker, and then running backs Phil Hayden and Cole Mangold. Nobody else has offered them yet. We're kind of running away with the recruitments. I've only got 10 hours into Cole Mangold, and that's because I wanted to put 50 into Phil Hayden, Juan Tinker, and Clarence Schumann. Those are some guys at positions of need, and I think Phil Hayden will make more of an impact than Cole Mangold just because speed is at such a premium in this game. Next on our board is a mid-season add to the board to help bolster the interior D-line and defensive tackle, Joel Ugokwe. He's a speed rusher from Fort Worth, Texas. Comes in with 89 strength, 75 speed, 83 tackles, 78 finesse moves. I think I've noticed in past Maddens and then also early on in this game that having a speed rushing defensive tackle is kind of a glitch because they can be really, really strong and help them control interactions at the line, but then they also have that speed and that finesse moves that interior linemen just aren't programmed to have the finesse stats to counteract that, so they end up being kind of glitchy. And then pair that with that this guy is a gem. He should be pretty dang good right off the bat. He is a player we just added this past week after a bye week, so our hours haven't kicked in yet. He is obviously in Texas, so you see a lot of those Texas and SEC schools have huge pipeline bonuses. Currently, we have a Tier 1 pipeline in Fort Worth, Texas from Utah State. And even though he's from Texas, I think this is a bit more realistic to where we're going mid to late season, going to find prospects from around the country to fill in our board instead of right away most of our board being out on the East Coast like in the previous save file. So in this case, I think it's okay to be looking across the country as we're trying to fill in positions of need still after this first wave of recruits starts committing. Following Joel Ugokwe is another defensive tackle, Kiwone Sims. He's another speed rushing tendency from Salt Lake City, Utah, and another gem. Like I said with Joel, a speed rushing defensive tackle, especially in second and third and long situations where you know the opponent will be passing, they seem to be kind of glitchy, and he may even be glitchier than Joel as he comes in with 88 strength and 80 finesse moves. So hitting that 80 threshold should be pretty good. Pair that with that he's a gem, so we're hoping for impact or better depth traits on him. And then the latest two players added to our board are both from the East Coast, and they're both strong safeties. First up is Peyton Rhodes, 3-star strong safety from Richland, New Jersey. Comes in with 85 speed, 73 zone, 59 tackling. He is a zone tendency, so he may end up being one of the deep safeties, and we won't look to play him in the box as much as a typical strong safety may play. But the one I am targeting heavily is Juan Deal from Lake City, Florida. He's a run support strong safety, that archetype, that kind of typical bigger strong safety that'll come down in the box and can tackle and hit a bit. Comes in with 86 speed, 78 hit power, 76 tackle, and 87 acceleration. And he's also a gem, so he should be pretty good. Both these guys we just added to the board to use up all our points, so nobody's currently offered them. So after this week, we should see ourselves jump up on them. And then finally, up to this point, we managed to get 3 commits already, 2 of them on the offensive line and then 1 quarterback. First up is left tackle Jamie Augustine from Salt Lake City. He is a pass protector, comes in with 77 strength, 82 pass block finesse, 81 pass block, 65 run block. As a pass protector, we'd expect that run block to be pretty low, but we do want kind of a good pass blocker on our quarterback's blind side. Strength is a little low for my liking, but he should be fine, especially when he'll be better than any of the other tackles we have for next year, most likely. The other offensive lineman we've managed to get a commitment from so far is Steven Brothers from Provo, Utah. Another pass protector tendency. He is a right guard, and I don't always like the pass protector tendency for my interior offensive line because I like running up the middle more. So pass protectors tend to not be as strong in interactions with the defensive tackles, who end up being a lot stronger. As you can see on Steven Brothers, he's got 75 strength. When he's going up against a defensive tackle that maybe has 85 or 90 strength, he'll get kind of babied around, per se. But we do pass quite a bit, so we can't really be picky on who we're getting at this point. He's a gem, should have a good dev trait, decent pass blocking stats, and we like to throw the rock. And finally, the commitment I'm most excited for at this point is 3-star gem quarterback Quincy Stephen from Lacey, Washington. He's a scrambler, comes in with 84 speed, 91 throw power, 90 acceleration, with a couple of abilities as well. Accuracies aren't great, I know, but that speed and then throw power is going to be such a huge thing for later seasons, especially once that accuracy starts to develop and he can start making throws consistently. And we do run a lot of option, especially with the dynamic back that we have in Keontae Tyson. So getting that mobility at a quarterback position will be great for us down the road. Pair that with that he's a gem, should have a good depth trait. Hopefully his skill caps aren't too low to where he can get to pretty high overall, and we may be looking at our quarterback of the future trying to lead us to a national championship. With recruiting out of the way, we're going to hop into our Week 6 game against Boise State. We are going on the road to Boise State in this one, and the Broncos are 13 overalls better than us, so it may be a bit of an uphill battle, but I'll be damned if we don't try to go into Boise and leave with a win. Kicking it off here on the iconic blue turf field. Personally, I like it. I know there's a lot of people that you either love it or you hate it, and I think it looks really sharp and it works really well with what their uniforms look like. Coming onto the field, starting out in cover 3. And it is going to be a tough task stopping Ashton Jeanty. I believe he's a 91 overall in the game. Going to be tough to stop him. We're going to be playing a lot of 7 or 8 man boxes in this one. Make him pass the ball. There we go. Out to the flat. Minimal gain on that one. Brings up 2nd and 8. Malachi Nelson with the completion. If you didn't see in the news, Malachi Nelson just got beat out by Maddox Madsen, I believe it was. And Ashton Jeanty's got all the room in the world. So former 5-star quarterback gets beat out by, I believe, some local 3-star recruit for the Broncos, which was interesting to me. Oh, tipped off his helmet. Bit of a lucky break there. He would have gone to Ashton. Bit of a lucky break on that deflection. Brings up 2nd and 10. Going to the ground. There we go. We're there. Minimal gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 7. Try to put some pressure on the former 5-star. Dime blitz from the nickel. We're playing over that tight end. That's a pick out of Quincy Blue. Perfect timing. That's a takeaway early for the Grizzlies. I also did make a change to the playbook. We are still in a multiple style scheme. We just changed it to Kansas State. I want to try this one out for a couple games. And that was just poor blocking onto the first down carry. Going to the mesh. And Scooter Page drops it. Nice. Okay. Maybe wasting that early interception already. But we got Scott McLawler down the middle. Breaks a tackle. Over midfield. Huge gain for the Grizzlies. Going with the RPO screen. Got decent numbers. Watch what that linebacker does. And the Scooter Page gets bullied back into the receiver. Loss of 1. Going with his own run out of I form. Bit more of a pro style scheme, it looks like. But Keontae's got plenty of room. 10 yards makes it a more manageable 3rd and 1 here. And Olsen will keep it. Slide down. Easy first. Keep it on the ground. Maybe our identity is an I-form run team. I believe that is Teague, not Jeff Teague for the NBA buffs. But I don't actually know his first name. But it's not Jeff Teague. Former Bucks legend. Fun fact. Tyson back in for the stretch. Going to flip this to the left. One juke gets inside. No gain. Better than a loss. 3rd and 6. And Javion Foreman drops it on the slant. Tried to lead it back towards his back shoulder. Avoid the hospital ball, but we'll send out the kicker. might be money. That's right down the pipe. Grizzlies take the lead. 3-0 here early. Broncos come out in a single back ace set. A lot of tight ends on the field. Going with the run. Chase Freeman's there. You're not breaking many of his tackles. 2nd and 7. Motion. I'm thinking inside zone. We're going to run commit. Yep, we're there. Only 2 yards. Another 3rd down. Go with another blitz. Off that right side. Nickel and outside linebacker coming. They're going screen. I overran it. That's a pickup of a 1st down, and it shouldn't have been. God damn it. God damn it. 1st and 10. And Genty gets 9 on the carry. Made that look easy. Here we go. Expecting another run. And he's got room. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another. Breaks another. God damn it. Somebody tackle him. Already onto the 2nd quarter. Grizzlies up 3-0, but Boise State is driving behind the carries of Ashton Genty. Got him out of there finally. Back up in, gets 3. Genty back in. Sending a blitz. Oh, that's wide open. That fooled me too. Easy touchdown on the play action. Damn it. And they're hitting the white boy gritty on us. Montana back onto offense. Down 4. Teague does not have the same speed as Keontae Tyson. Only able to pick up 1. Gonna keep it on the ground. Inside zone. And he's got room up the middle. Will pick up the 1st. Breaks 1. And pushes his way forward up to the 42. 4 carries for 24 yards so far. There we go. A little bit of a hole. Couldn't quite get through it. Pick up a 2. Keep it on the ground. See that safety come up on the right. Likely coming on a blitz. And Spencer Strickland's hitting the backfield. Just overwhelmed in the middle. Brayton Feely with the TFL for the Broncos. And CJ Peek's got a step. Got a catch. Down the sideline. Tackled at the 10. Huge gain. Into the red zone for Montana. Cut inside. 1 man. 8 yards. On 1st and goal. Brings up 2nd from the 2. For our left tight end, Bentley blocks and seals that block. We may kick this out. Kicks it in. Tyson in for the score. Touchdown, Montana. And the Grizzlies reclaim the lead here in the 2nd. Give me that! Oh, what? Oh, read it like a book with Chase Freeman. Little too slick out, little too rainy. Couldn't come up with it. Brings up 2nd and 10. There we go. Gang tackle. 3rd and 8. Let's go cover 6. Play the sticks, baby. Huge stop here. Play action. And he throws it away. Montana will be getting the ball back. Give me my rock. Fair catch at the 46, nearly midfield. Now, if you've watched the series up to this point, you know that after a turnover, this is where I usually self-destruct and throw a pick 6. It's not going to happen. I'm growing. I'm learning. Tyson with a pickup of 1. Doesn't matter. We're going to keep it on the ground. Keep feeding him. He's hot. Tyson up the middle. 1 man to beat. Can't quite beat the safety. Nonetheless, big pickup. 1st down into Bronco territory. Got the read screen. Spencer Strickland up the middle. Oh, reliable Spencer Strickland and his pickup of 4. Tyson back into the game. Gonna try to get this off before the 2-minute. We'll let time wind down a little bit. Play a little clock management. We get ball after half. Here we go. Decent pickup. Take it to the 2-minute. 2 minutes left in the half. Grizzlies up 3 and driving. Put a little hitch. Texas route combo. Reading those 2 backers. That almost a pick. That's fine. They want us to go for it though on 4th and 3. Not against it. Audible to an A slot. 3 yards here is all that's needed. I've netted. Cut up field. Tyson's got room. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another. Inside the red zone. We needed 3. He got us more. Keep it on the ground. We're not putting this ball in the air. Strickland falls forward. Modest pickup. 2nd and goal. We're gonna take a little clock off. I should have put on true clock. Want to try to drain a little bit more time when they get the ball back after hopefully a touchdown here. We'll rattle off 10 more seconds. Got a flood concept. I'm looking to Page, honestly, or Tyson out of the backfield. Scooter Page up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Montana. Early 10-point lead in the first half, and the Grizzlies get the ball after half. Boise State's got to be feeling the pressure here to score. That's fine. No first downs. We'll let them dink and dunk. They can dink and dunk all they want down the field. Just no deep bombs. Limit the big plays. They're going verts. Tackle them in bounds. Tackle them in bounds. Make them take timeouts. Let's go. Where is all reliable? Cover 6. Hard flat that right side corner. We're on Chase Freeman. Got the middle. And he's wide open. Okay. They are driving so far. Shaded outside. Get ready for a corner route. We know they want to. And a missed throw. Just slipped out of his hand. Nobody there. Brings up 2nd and 10. Let's go 4. Go 4. I'm watching tight end from across on any crossers or vertical routes. Mine! User lurk! Nico Solomon's got it! He's got room! Trying to break free! Malachi Nelson gives it back to the Grizzlies. 30 seconds. All 3 timeouts left. Let's get rid of that. Give it to Tyson. Nobody really open. Not a great concept for the field position. Let's go to the screen. Just trying to get into field goal range. And they read the screen. Slot corner comes up. Take a timeout. 3rd and 12. And we give it right back. We give it right back. Just don't let them return it. Signature interception. I'm not clutch at all. Playing a little outside. Watching any corner routes. Give me that back! Oh! Fell through his hands. Jaden Bowie couldn't come up with it. Nonetheless, leaves 2nd and 10. 13 seconds left. Still playing. Give me that! Oh! Malachi is thrown right at me. He's already made that mistake. He's going to give one up again before this game is over. 3rd and 4. 9 seconds left. And wow, what a throw on the comeback. Wow. In the rain here, this could easily be a miss. And no, he splits. Grizzlies will get the kickoff to start the second half. A little bit of room, not much brewing. We do not want to get out of what was working in the first half. We're going to keep it on the ground to start. Little bit of room, not much. Pick up a 1. Strickland in. Decent cutback lane. Gain of 3, leaves 3rd and 6. This looks like possibly quarters, possibly man. We'll drag out of. Give it to Peaks. 4th and 2. I'll be honest, I want to keep the pressure on him here. We're going to go for this. 4th and 2. Deep in our own territory. And he throws it right into our defensive lineman. A dumb decision? Yes, very much so. Was he open? Yes. Don't let him cut out. I got the cutback. You get the outside shoulder. Broncos going hurry up. Big hit on the play action. They pick up the 1st at the 21. Big hit! Van Claiborne meets him in the hole. 2nd and 9. Play action. Another play action. Goes to the flat receiver. Modest pickup. Apparently they can go no huddle even if they go out of bounds. 3rd and 6. Expecting a pass. No! No! Read the slant. Just too slow. Not enough athlete to make a play. The Broncos tie it up after that extra point. Grizzlies take over. Tie ball game. Tyson up the middle. Decent pickup of 6. He's been having a great game so far. Strickland in. Going with the dive. And we are stopped immediately. Okay. Got to go through the air. We don't have much in terms of athletes. And Page gets it, but that's a flag. It may be coming back, and it is a hold. That holding penalty backs us up for 3rd down. 3rd and 13. Foreman can't get the audible. Give it to him. Break a tackle. He can't. And we'll have to punt it away. Bronco offense back onto the field. Give me that! We need that. That needs to be a pick. I read it. I click on. That should be a pick. 2nd and 10. Going back through the air. Make it. Jesus, he is quick. Couldn't make the tackle. 1st down, Boise State. And he's running back wide open out of the backfield. They are driving on us. Not much we can do. They've come out in the second half firing. On the run, it's Genty. They'll put the brakes on him at the 21, give him a yard. A little bit of resistance. 1 yard gain on the zone. 2nd and 9. Play action. And he's wide open in the back of the infield. Boise State's put up 17 unanswered on us so far. Need a drive here. Need a little bit of blocking, but nobody wants to block at this point. Come on. Going with our favorite, the mesh. And he gets bumped. And that's going to be a pick six. He was going to be open once he cleared that. I guess somewhat of a bad read, but I hate getting punished for making a decent read when he would have been open. Grizzlies down 31-17. And another interception. We cannot do anything right now. The Broncos are just stopping everything. Can't run the ball. Defenders are everywhere in the pass game. A decent pickup there. We need to score here quickly if we want a chance, though.
It makes the whole game easy. And right now, they got it going on the ground. The defense is going to have to change something up. These little
and CJ Peaks, freshman receiver, makes a huge catch. Gets us down to the 26. I'm trying to get this off. And nobody wants to block on the outside. Incomplete. Likely going to be another pick. Brings up 3rd and 9. So dejected after a good start, but a couple bad reads and a couple unlucky breaks. That's another interception. That was just purely on me. Broncos up big here in the 4th. And Ashton Genty is just too dynamic for us to really do much against. Nobody in the middle can get off blocks nearly quick enough to stop the quick halfback. And they're chewing clock. Come on, give me a fumble or something. I hit stick from a safety on a quarterback and we don't get a fumble. They're chewing clock, trying to end this one. Going back to the same counter play. Outruns our D tackle who makes a decent play, and they still pick up 5. And we can't get off blocks. Ashton Genty breaks 2 tackles on his way. And don't tell me that's unnecessary rough. Oh my God. Noah Collins, unnecessary roughness for hitting him half a second too late, out of bounds. Give me that! Quincy Blue, another interception. Could that be a little bit of life for the Grizzlies? Can't get it over the safety who came down hard. 2nd and 10.
Offense gets set for 2nd down. Couldn't connect on 1st down. Now back to the air.
And I hit the wrong button. I thought Tyson was triangle. Boneheaded move. Yikes. And he gets bumped out of the backfield. And after Montana poses no sort of threat on offense, Boise State takes over possession. Big hit. Give me one, please. Give me something. 1st and 10. Big gain for the Broncos. And he makes a great cutback. Gets 6. And he's ran on us all day long. And a little bit of resistance there. Only a 1-yard pickup.
Everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run. They'll try to drive ahead on 3rd and short. All things considered, he's probably lucky to be back to the line of scrimmage.
And a decent play there. forces the Broncos to kick the field goal, take their points, but at this point it doesn't matter. Oh, he just slips it in the left side. At this point, Montana takes over. No chance. We are just playing for some stats. Scooter Page will get the slant. Decent pickup. 1st and 10. And CJ Peaks drops the curl route. Can't hang on. Doesn't matter. Whatever. At this point, if anything else exciting happens in this next 3 minutes, you'll see it. But other than that, I'll see you at the end of the game. And we will just near this one out. No point in risking injury or more interceptions or fumbles. We'll kneel it out. Get out of this one. So we will lose our first meeting with our rival in a long time, 44-17. And that'll do it for this one. Boise State bests the Grizzlies, 44-17. Looking at the stats for this one, horrible day in the rain for quarterback Tyler Olsen. 12 for 26, 150 yards, 1 touchdown to 5 interceptions. Tyson was super effective on the ground early, 16 carries for 89 yards and a touchdown. CJ Peaks stands out really as the only receiver who showed up to this game with his hands intact. 4 catches, 86 yards. Defense did manage to force 3 interceptions, 2 from Quincy Blue, 1 from Nico Solomon. Overall, have to be somewhat happy with how the defense played. 3 turnovers in that one. Can never complain about that, but offensively, 5 interceptions. When you lose the turnover battle, you'll likely lose the game, and we lost the turnover battle bad. Let's go ahead and advance the week, though. See who commits to us, what other updates we may have for next week. And we do manage to level up to level 6, so that'll give us a couple extra coaching points to spend to upgrade our abilities. Championship contender is down to a D-. Go figure, we're a 60-day overall. You're not coming here to win championships in this first or second year. Recruiting-wise, we did get 2 commits. Middle linebacker Alani Iverson and right end Levi Yaboa commit to the Grizzlies for next year. 2 gems, 2 huge signees for next season. In other news, tight end Juan Tinker has reached his top 3 with us firmly in the lead. And then defensive tackle Kiwana Sims has reached his top 8, also with us firmly holding that top spot. Quincy Blue ends up earning Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Week with 2 interceptions against Boise State. And that's going to do it for this episode. Grizzlies fall to 2-3 and 0-1 in our first Mountain West Conference game in this reset version of the Dynasty. Next episode, you'll see us take on the UNLV Rebels at home in Missoula. If you've enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below, as well as leave any feedback on how I can improve as well down below. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Peace.